That's going, bro.
Guess what?
No way.
Make a recording.
No way.
Make a recording.
This is going to the internet. Hi. What's up, everybody?
Welcome back to the Monday M.A.S.S.
Remember us?
If you missed us,
We're busy.
we've been busy. We've been doing some shit.
Taking over the airwaves, really,
Apparently.
is what's up.
Breaking news.
What's up? Hey.
Hey, what's
Hey,
up?
man. I'm Chris.
What's up, bro? What's
Good
up?
to
I'm
see you.
Todd. How
Todd.
are you?
Well, I don't have much written down, but I don't think we need it.
Yeah, we're gonna heavy dip. This is if we stay on track here. You know, this is gonna be a lot of snowboard talk.
Stay on track.
Some snowboard, some surfing talk. I don't even know what's happening in skateboarding. But first, we got to get through this fucking sponsor list.
Oh, this is not sponsor list. Well, guess what? The main sponsor hit we have here today is Cut You Up is back on streaming services. The debut album pulled over.
Wait. So
Your eyes
what
are-
do you mean the main sponsor? Is Cut You Up paying for this month's rent?
Yes,
Oh.
partially with music. They're paying you with music.
Oh.
No, this is a big announcement.
Okay.
Cut You Up, debut album, pulled over. Your eyes are telling me different, son.
The have
Yeah,
nots.
all the hits.
Yeah.
Back on streaming.
Love it.
No, we're with Neil Young. We just went back in. He's back. Controversy.
This just in.
No controversy here. Just good music on all the streaming services.
Milli Vanilli is pulling all their songs off Spotify, even the ones
No.
they didn't sing.
Come on. Well, what else we got? Herschel Supply Co.
Yes.
At Herschel Supply. Herschel provided some backpacks, some scavenger hunt prizes for the Monday M.A.S.S. Camp Shred scavenger hunt,
As well as my drag through the airport.
as well as your drive to the airport.
I dragged the big the independent trucks collab bag.
You
That
didn't-
thing you can fit a person in there.
You didn't have to drive it because it's got wheels,
That's what I'm saying.
right?
Drag it with wheels.
And is that the best bag ever?
It's pretty dope. Dude.
Yeah.
You could fit a whole person in there.
We truly live and breathe our sponsors.
We do.
Like Beneath Apparel, BN3TH Apparel, another sponsor that we have
I
that we
almost
live and bleed.
Pooped in my
Don't
Beneath
bleed.
Apparel pants when I was doing the broadcast for the snowboarding.
I
had a salad and then dairy immediately following it and almost craped my drawers.
Well, you know what I'm going to say?
Mm.
I know you've commentated a lot of big events, a lot of Olympic Winter Gameses. I think the reason why you did so good this year, which we'll get to,
Could be.
I think it's the underwear.
Could be.
BN3TH Apparel.
Quite possible.
Nanocraft CBD.
M.A.S.S 20 at checkout on the Beneath Apparel website.
Yes,
by the way.
yes.
BTW.
That's right. Yeah, buy them. Trust us. You won't be sorry. Nanocraft CBD, helps with anxiety, helps with sleep.
Oh my god.
Recovery,
So
the
when,
whole vibe.
When I was doing the thing I was doing last week, I would come home at 3:30 in the morning, East Coast time, and I immediately would go straight into my nighttime CBD to drop. I needed to get dropped like an elephant being tranquilized because I was so jacked up. I needed to go to sleep because if I didn't go to sleep, I was going to be a wreck the next day. So I relied on Nanocraft CBD, M.A.S.S 20 at checkout. Rely on it.
Bam. And you had to really regulate yourself sleep-wise.
Dude, I'm still fucked up.
Tight. Bubs Naturals, at Bubs Naturals. You said,
Grow hair in
It's
places
growing
you don't
back,
even
my
think
man.
it's possible.
it's all about staying young
Do you have hair-
forever.
Do you have hair in your ears?
Yeah, I do.
Are you growing do you feel like
I'm
as you
growing
get-
it out.
Okay, you're growing your hair out in your ears?
It's weird that when you get older, this hair grows slowly.
Mm.
This hair on the neck, chest, down.
Mm-hmm. You know why?
Your hair is like a migratory pattern, right?
Gravity's pulling your hair to your balls.
Mine, yeah, it stops right here and just start around
It's like
and up and then stops.
It's like
here.
your whole body becomes the mullet.
Yeah, full body mullet will be aided by the help from Bubs Naturals. At Bubs Naturals, Hansen Surfboards. If you go online and let's say you're gonna buy your short arm full suit, it's coming up. Springtime's coming.
3-2 maybe.
A 3-2, a 2-2, some gloves like I like to wear, sunglasses,
Whatever.
skate trucks, whatever you want. Go to the Hansen's website, hansensurfboards.com. Use the code MASS10 or go in person. That's one of my favorite things to do. spend an afternoon in a surf shop, grabbing boards, talking to the homies and homiettes that work at the shop. And then just get the vibe.
Yeah.
I like to soak up that vibe.
Soak it up.
Pannikin Coffee and Tea. You already know
Pannikin
this.
Coffee and Tea sent me a care package when I was at the Olympics, and I appreciated it. I had some of that nitro, which really got me jacked up. Hey, I will tell you this, though. Don't expect to... Sorry.
Yeah,
There's...
hi.
Hello. Hi. Don't expect to
go...
go...
the Olympics. You can't even talk about it.
Don't expect to go to sleep at 7 o'clock in the morning if you have a nitro at 11 p.m.
Yeah. Wait. Go to sleep at 7 in the morning?
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Wow. So you're really having to self-regulate.
It was crazy. Like I said, I'm still kind of jacked up.
He's still jacked, but we like a jacked Todd. YouOnline.com.
Yep.
At YouOnline. You can go there for a little taste of Southern California lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Trust us. You'll love it. New Greens.
New Greens. At
New
New
Greens.
Greens. One of the only things that helped keep me sane. I didn't get a lot of exercise while I was there. I had to eat right. I had to, because you're basically eating on a commentator's schedule, which means snack attack 24 hours a day. You're not eating good stuff. And New Greens kept me proper.
Kept you proper.
Mass 20 at checkout. Hey.
I'm happy about that.
Do your body a favor.
I'm
New
happy
Greens.
about that. Okay. Adventure.io. At Adventure.io. Do you want to go on a bike ride around Encinitas with an Olympic snowboard commentator?
I'll commentate your bike ride.
Olympic snowboard commentator?
I'll evaluate your skills on riding a bike.
Yeah, through Adventure.io, you can sign up. Todd and I will go on a bike ride with you. We'll go surf with you. And you can ask him for any catchphrase.
Yeah, I'll give you
I'm signing you up for stuff right there.
I'll grenade your bike ride.
Yeah. This is a gold medal.
Okay,
guaranteed.
I digress.
Where what?
Never in my life have I said a travesty or irate. I've never said either one of those words. Somehow they come out on a national television broadcast. I don't
irate.
This is so ridiculous.
Okay, let's get into this. I'm going to set this up.
All right, let's go.
Snow News is brought to you by K2 Snowboarding. We're talking about the Olympics aftermath. Mm-hmm. I think we can mention the highlights, but you've already talked about the highlights. We've all seen the runs at this point, I'm pretty sure. We know who got the medals. Mm-hmm. We know the controversy. So let's talk about some behind-the-scenes stuff. All right? So,
you just asked me questions.
For those of you out there, if you've been living under a rock, Todd Richards, right here,
hi,
was paired up with our other homie, Todd Harris.
The Todd Harris.
The Todd Harris, Todd is the greatest.
He's the best.
You're one of the greatest. Todd's the greatest.
Look, if you want to...
best Todd
I look at
commentary.
A commentary team for doing the Olympics or for anything, surfing anything.
Yes.
One person flies the plane, the other person...
play-by-play analyst.
The guy that flies the plane comes in and out of commercials. He's the one that sets it to time. This is how much time you have. I'm going to talk. I'm going to set you up. Then you take it.
Yeah.
He has the heavier of the jobs, in my opinion.
More technical.
And Harris is the best of the best.
Yeah. Basketball, football, sailing,
cycling,
MotoGP, cycling.
World's Strongest Man.
Anything.
Yeah.
Todd Harris, shout out.
Dude knows everything.
But now let's get to our friend Todd Richards. So, it started way back. Geez, so much has happened.
I know.
Let's talk about just the first thing that we had mentioned last time we did a podcast is you weren't going to China, you were going to Connecticut. A lot of us saw the behind the scenes, but give us just a brief setup of where you went and where you commentated from.
Okay, so when they decided that we're not going to China because of COVID reasons and concerns about testing and what China's testing parameters were versus the U.S., we ended up, all the commentators went and did it in Connecticut. Everyone from Lindsay Vaughn to myself to Terry Lipinski and Johnny Weir, the whole package.
Yes.
So we're all in one big building in Connecticut.
Is it NBC studio?
At NBC in Stamford, Connecticut, which was cool. It felt like Harris and I have never had an Olympic experience where we get to see Mike Tirico and all these people in the hallway, the big heavies, the ones that do the lifting of the entire broadcast. So it was cool to all be under one roof. Our jobs started at about, depending on what the day was and what the events were, no earlier than 7:30 at night, and usually would go until 2:00 in the morning.
Okay.
Okay, so Harris and I started. We started with men's and women's slopestyle. There was controversy in the men's slopestyle, which started off with knee gate, which was the knee grab of Max Perot. Max Perot got the gold.
Yep.
Crazy run. No disrespect to Max Perot. He's an incredible snowboarder. But he grabbed his knee, and according to Snowboarding 101, you cannot grab your knee and end up walking away with a gold medal. It counts like a fall or like a missed grab.
Like a washed out
or something. That's the scale it lives on.
Okay.
So we had a shake-up there where there was a lot of controversy with the judging. Now, here's where I think things began that set up the events of the men's halfpipe and why I said what I said. In that event, the judges should have kept their mouths shut and never admitted that they effed it up because they didn't have the right camera angles or whatever. In this day and age, in technology,
they said something.
Yeah, let me just continue because I'll get lost in this.
Wow.
So, in this day and age, when we're calling an event from China, right? Like they're sending the broadcast into space, and it's into a satellite, and it's shooting back down to us in Connecticut, and we have a flawless view.
Yes.
The judges on the ground are complaining that they didn't have slow motion. That's a huge IOC problem. Not so much the judges, but that's an Olympic problem. In I guess would be the behind the scenes of the technical aspect of setting it up the right way.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm not letting them off the hook here.
Okay.
Because I do think that they get replays when they ask for them. They said they didn't get the right camera angles, but they did say in hindsight we fucked it up.
Okay.
Okay, that's it right there. Judges admitting they fucked up the gold medal, but the gold medal still goes to the dude that now. Max Perot has an asterisk next to his name. As judges, you just admitted that you screwed up the call, and Max Perot's gold medal now has an asterisk next to it. I'm not even going to talk about who we should have thought ended up on top of the podium. Okay?
Yeah.
So.
Slightly tainted.
Slightly tainted. So that was knee gate. Now, fast forward a few more days.
Yeah.
We get Chloe Kim crushes the women's half pipe. Like, just crushes it.
And you guys crushed the call.
Thank you.
Nice and clean.
Yeah, it was nice and clean.
Yeah, that was wonderful.
So then, right after women's half pipe final was the men's qualifier for pipe. Everyone put on a show. I mean, Shaun White crushed it. Made fourth place into the qualifier round. Kaiju Hirano on a completely different level than everybody else.
Yes.
And I should say, all during practices, Ayumu was doing the triples like it wasn't a thing. Like people were talking easy. There was 3 Japanese guys that were doing them. Scotty James, I don't think ever did one in his practice. I know that he has one, but he didn't do it. So okay, now we've got the table is set for the men's final.
We got our finalists. Everything's nice and clean. Everyone who should have qualified. Like that was all good.
Everything is nice and clean. So we drop into the pipe. Okay, the first couple of guys to go. Number 1, Kaiju Hirano.
Oh my God.
Drops in and does, on his first run, does like a 20-foot plus backside. I think it was like 23 feet or something like that.
Yeah.
On his first hit. Then he falls. But who gives a shit? It was the freaking, to me, I almost jumped out of my skin. It was the coolest looking thing to be that high in the air, to get up there. Not only does he go up and do a big backside air, but he like locks into a method where he kicks that leg up above his head and just sits there and falls out of the sky.
Okay, let me ask you about this. Take a layer away.
Mm-hmm.
Great breakdown. While you were calling it, it felt like to myself. I know you, and I can hear it in your voice. But then on all the social media that I saw, you kind of entered a different. It was a different Todd Richards. I don't know if you were more free. I don't know if you were more excited because the level, but your enthusiasm and your soul and stoke was just like pouring out of the
Dude,
TV.
it was at that point like where, and I will credit Kaiju for that.
Right.
Because Kaiju opened it up with the most beautiful trick, probably the biggest method error. Well, that one up until that time was real close to the world record. Like I think I forget what his world record was, but Kaiju would go on to break that evening with the 24-4 or 24-3 height, whatever it was. But that was the start. The snowball was now rolling.
And you're getting pumped.
I'm excited. I'm excited for Valentino.
And are they telling you in your ear like,
no,
You're all good. Or
No,
they didn't say
They don't say anything. When
keep
I'm
it
doing
rolling.
a good job, they don't say anything. Taylor Gold comes down. Whales a run out. And I mean, Taylor Gold has one of the most technical, in my view, like one of the most unique technical runs, kind of a Danny Davis approach to half pipe. Whether or not he's rewarded for it, at the end of the day, his run was very pure snowboarding for me.
For the love.
For the love. I mean, it's still crazy technical, but it's not, it's not going to win a comp.
Yeah.
In this day and age. So then we get down to the top 4. Been a whole bunch of runs in there that are great. A couple of the Japanese guys fall. Shaun White comes down and run number 1. I believe it was run number 1.
So they're all blending in.
It's all blending in. But run number 1, he laces his first run. Kills it. I think it's run number 1. It's either run 1 or 2. Kills it. Ends up, he's now in the lead. Or takes the lead away from Taylor Gold or something like that. Or bumps into the top 3 or something like that. Then it's time for Scotty James. Scotty James comes out. His number 1 run. First run he puts down. Switchback 12. He goes, let's go. Switchback 12. Switch 14. Frontside 9. Back 12. Front 14. That was his run.
I'm very impressed that you remembered all that.
Well, I do, because it's burned into my head. Incredible. Scotty James, obviously, goes into the lead. Boom. Now the moment we're all been waiting for. Kaiju Hirano, will he do the triple cork? We've been hearing about it all week long. Ayumu drops in, and his first 3, he only makes it to the 3rd hit. But the first hit is probably a 19, 20 foot out triple cork, lands like nothing happened.
Absolute perfection.
Like it was like a front 7. Into a 14, into a front 12. Then he falls on the backside 12. Okay. We know what's coming. We know that this is possible for him. Fast forward into run number 2. Ayumu nails it. He nails and it might have been Scotty and Ayumu nailed their runs on the second run. I can't even remember. But, okay, so Scotty comes down. I think it was second run. Scotty comes down, nails his run, ends up in the lead. Ayumu comes down, laces the run that we were talking about, like we knew he could do, does the whole thing, top to bottom. No one has ever done a triple cork in a competition and put it down and backed it up with things. I'm going crazy. I'm like, that's a 98. There's no way.
Time out. Here's the moment.
Yeah.
You're going crazy, and there's a few of your, like, moments, quotes that you said. Is this where you said, guaranteed gold medal?
Yeah, I'm like, that's the hardest run. And it was, to me.
Yeah.
To me. I'm a commentator. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm not in the judges' booth. The judges don't hear me. They don't hear my feed. All they do is hear me. I mean, all I'm doing is broadcasting to the world, giving my expert opinion.
Just the world.
Yeah.
The world.
Or I should say the NBC, and whoever's on NBC.
Okay, this is where you start getting really excited.
Yeah.
You're firing up this run.
Yeah.
It's totally warranted.
Best
warranted
run,
is a word that I'll get to in mine, but
best run that I've ever seen done on a snowboard in a half pipe as far as technicality
and you
goes.
said that.
And I
and
said
you
it.
were confident.
I'm like, there's the gold medal. It just happened. We just watched the gold medal happen.
Score drops.
Score drops. It's a 91. Scotty James is a 93. I lose my shit.
Yes.
Because at this point, I believe that I just saw the biggest risk taking in a snowboard run I've ever seen. Not taking nothing away from Scotty James's switch backside 12, because really that's the differentiation in these 2 runs.
Right.
Okay. To me as an expert witness. So I'm just sitting here going, what the hell happened? Now, sidebar. Judging has been rewarding for the past however many years, since 2018 in Pyeongchang, one more rotation, one more flip. This is the criteria the judges give the points for. One more foot, one more. Let's just go one more, because that's just easier to equate. The gnarliest one more is one more flip on a cork move. Because it's as soon as you leave that lip, you're committed.
You could die.
You could die. You could straight up die. I'll argue a switch backside 1260, you could get buckled. I don't think you're going to die.
But
you can kind of see where you are.
Die.
Triple cork, you're going to fucking die.
Yeah.
Or the possibility of death is there.
At least a heavy maiming.
Heavy maiming.
Yeah.
So, okay, so here we go. The judges have now painted themselves into a corner by telling everyone that, basically by their criteria, by what they've been rewarding for the past however many years, that the triple cork is the pinnacle of moves. No one has won with the triple cork yet. It's been done. Ayumu did it in copper. Whatever. No one has won with one yet.
Yeah.
Ayumu laces the most technical run I've ever seen. Also, point of contention, Scotty's lowest spin was a 900. Ayuma's lowest spin was a 1260.
One more.
Lands this run. I go nuts. The crowd is booing on site. Once again, I'll reiterate, judges cannot hear what I'm saying. The judges shouldn't be looking on social media either. So this kind of sets up what happens in run number 3.
Wait, they're booing when the score drops.
When the people on site are madly booing when the score dropped. We could hear it. It was audible. And I'm going, what? What? Did they forget to put a 7 in there? I thought it was, we're going to come back from commercial and this is going to be corrected.
Sorry everyone, we had a digital glitch. We don't know what the hell just happened.
That would be more in line with what I was thinking. Sure, it would suck because we had to pay off this shitty score, but then all of a sudden we admit to a technical glitch, we're back on track for run number 3. But they didn't.
And at no time, because I've done this in surfing and I've seen it, and at no time did you feel less confident in your call that was the best run you've ever seen?
No.
I didn't hear it in your voice. You were like, no.
Well, we went to commercial right after Ayuma's run. Okay. Yeah. So in between the break and when we came back on air, I just turned to Todd Harris. I'm like, and Harris looks at me. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? What is going on here? And my producer in my ear, Billy Matthews, incredible producer. All the credit in the world to him. He's amazing at what he does. He goes in my ear. He goes, save this for when you come back. So
save the conversation.
Save the conversation when you come back. So in between that time, I tweeted out, the judges have just grenaded all their credibility.
Right.
In my eyes, they did.
And they're looking at social media?
No, there's no way the judges should.
in a box.
Yeah, the judges should. If they are, that is bad. If the judges are looking for public opinion of what is happening in that box, that's bad. I'm not saying it happened, but if they are, that's bad.
Save it for your Instagram.
Save it for your after effect. They shouldn't know what's happening with the outside world. So we come back from commercial. I go on my tirade about how this is a travesty and I'm irate and yada yada yada.
Travesty, irate.
Judges grenading their credibility, and I just called it like I saw it. I've been doing this for a long time. I competed at this level. I've been to the Olympics. I've seen all these gnarly runs over the years. I've watched the qualifying process. I've been there.
You don't have to defend yourself.
No, I'm just. This is for the audience. This is for the audience. This is more like
they know.
I'm like going to a psychiatrist right now.
Yeah, you keep yelling at me. That's fine.
Is it still called a psychiatrist?
Yeah.
Therapist?
Therapist. Anyway. I'm your therapist.
So anyway, we come, whatever. We come back, and now we're back in the contest again.
And it's a third and final run.
Current standings: Scotty James on top, Ayuma Hirano in second.
Ayuma's not the type of person that is going to break his board and flip the judges off.
Japanese, by who they are as society, are not the kind of people that are going to complain.
Yeah.
They wouldn't do it. It's just not the way it is. And I've had this proven to me over the messages that I've got in support from Japan. Into run 3, Kaiju Hirano comes out, starts things off again. World record backside air. 24 feet, 4 inches high. Boom. Just incredible. Here I go again. I'm trying to come down from what has happened to Ayuma Hirano because I feel like it's a disservice to snowboarding at this point.
You gotta focus on what's happening.
Right, I have to refocus what's happening on screen. We still have Shaun White's final run coming up. Can he do it? All this shit. It's his last hurrah. There's a lot going on in this last run. As we get through, Taylor Gold falls, Chase Josie falls. The Americans are not looking good for a medal here. We get down to Shaun White. Shaun White is on one. He drops in, does a huge front 14. Had he landed that second trick, had he landed the double 14 on hit number 2, I think we could have seen him on the podium in a bronze medal, which would have been the greatest send-off of all time for him. Love him or hate him, Shaun White, half-pipe snowboarding, and this stage that we're on owes a lot to Shaun White.
Yeah, and hold on a sec. Mm-hmm. I really like your sentiment. I know you and Shaun White go way back.
Yeah.
You've been critical of him on this podcast in a respectful way.
Sure.
But I loved the reverie and the respect and the credit that both of you guys gave him, and and the world gave him, but specifically you again, just because I know the history and everything. So I thought that was really cool.
Just strip away every looking at him in a critical way from the point of is what he's doing good for snowboarding. I have my disagrees with how he's kind of conducted himself over the years. Whatever. Taking all that away, Shaun White, as an athlete, his perseverance, his dedication to the craft, he is a competitor. He is a GOAT in competitive halfpipe.
Yep.
Bottom line, he's the greatest halfpipe competitor that has ever lived.
Hands
You cannot
down.
take that away from him. I love to see the emotion. He's in it. He was in that moment, and it was incredible. Now, Shaun White moved aside.
Okay.
Scotty James comes down. And I do have to kind of apologize to Todd Harris, because Todd Harris was, Scotty James left the start gate, and Harris was in this telling the story about how Scotty James first started skiing, and his sisters got him a snowboard to slow him down on the hill, and it's like happening as he's rolling in. And I'm like,
I heard that.
I'm like, Harris, you got to be like,
hold
dude,
on,
shut up. This is the heaviest freaking run of all time. And as you hear in the background, we got a loader happening outside.
It's good.
So he's dropping into the run. I'm like, yeah, we got to get to this, because literally this is like the most important run here. This is going to be the deciding factor whether or not Scotty James goes even more ham on this run and shuts the door on Ayumu. Scotty falls this run. Door's now open. Ayumu has to come down and do something. He has to add something to this in order to get over the top of Scotty James, because as we've seen, Ayumu lays down what I think is the heaviest run in history. The judges, they didn't think so.
Yeah.
So what does Ayumu have to do now? And Ayumu starts his run, and I'm like, show him, give it to him, smash him, smash all doubt. I thought Ayumu was going to do a front 1620 on the bottom hill. Okay, that's what I thought we were going to get. Ayumu drops in, first hit, 20-foot high triple once again, straight into the exact same run. Okay, maybe a little bit bigger. He was pissed. He said it in the Japanese media that he was mad.
Yeah.
And
good.
You know that kid had fire.
Good.
He comes down. I'm like, what's it gonna be? Give it to him. That was even gnarlier. Give it to him. They drop a 96. Boom. Ayumu Hirano wins the gold medal. Scotty James didn't want to look at the score because he knew it was going to be gnarly. Now the controversy begins because we're looking at the judging. And I'm just going to concentrate on the U.S. judge here, and I don't know who it is. I don't know who the dude is, but just looking at scores, looking at from the 10,000-foot view of what I see. What I see is Ayumu Hirano do a slightly better run than he did in run number 1, maybe a little bit bigger. Now,
6 points in snowboarding is a lot.
6-point difference from that judge.
It's a lot.
From run number 1 to run number 2. Where was your come to Jesus? Either you figured out that you fucked up on run number 1, or you were eating a sandwich when it happened, or you, God, I hope this isn't true, you went on social media and saw what social media was saying about your call. Something happened between run 1 and 1 2. Now, I think the right person won.
Yeah.
Okay, great. All's well that ends well. Had Ayumu fallen on run number 3, we would be in a completely different place right now.
Yeah.
But still, it doesn't let the judges off the hook. And now I know the judges are all pissed off at me because I said on the United States' grandest megaphone that they grenaded their credibility. That particular day, they did to me.
The numbers. It's opinion, of course.
Yeah.
But then you look at actual numbers.
Okay, yeah.
And if you look at runs, and I'm the furthest thing in the world from an Olympic snowboarding judge, but in terms of run, both of those runs being, from my eyes and from I'm sure most people's eyes, identical.
Yeah.
You said you went a little bigger on the second one. I watched both of them like same run.
Yeah.
Could have been replay. I thought my TV messed up or whatever. You see this in other sports, like football.
Mm-hmm.
We see football sometimes, and it's very subtle. Refs blow a call early, give it back.
Just last night in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So I want you to keep going, but so this is an example. Last night in the Super Bowl, towards the end of the game, huge holding call happens. Al Michaels, Chris Collingsworth, two of the best to ever do it. They say, I don't know, don't think, that's not it. Right? And so, same situation.
Sure.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
It's a call. It's not a point thing, but it's a call. So it does happen in every sport. And it's the same outcome, right? The right team won. There wasn't any, there's been calls in the past where the game was like, it would have been a game changer.
Yeah.
These calls were slightly less impactful in the overall thing.
Yeah.
But to your point, if the second run from Yuma wasn't the winning run,
right?
I mean, the shit would have hit the fan. I don't know how, but it would have hit the fan.
Proverbial fan.
Cry would not have been free.
Cry was definitely going to be costly.
Yes.
So, okay, now, I leave the booth that night. All's well that ends well. Justice!
Oh my God, my phone was
Justice
going
for
off.
Ayumu Hirano. I leave the booth, I'm shaking. I'm like, I just got fired.
You really thought you got fired?
Well, because here's the reason. It's no secret. NBC and the IOC are in bed together. It's a big money-making thing. The NBC paid a fuckload of money to have the rights to it. And here I am putting the IOC's hires on blast on national TV. So I leave the room. Everyone, I mean, there was people coming up. There was people coming up to me that, like, that call was insane. My phone blows up.
Social media
goes absolutely apeshit.
It was Todd Richards' pandemonium for 3 days.
This is at, like, I don't know, midnight. Okay, East Coast time. I leave just like, holy shit. And then I put this tweet out that was like, look, I came in hot, but here's the reason why. Because honestly, the biggest risk taken by any competitor in halfpipe was by Ayumu that night. He put his life on. I mean, we saw what happened to, Kevin Pierce with the level of progression. We saw what happened to Shaun when he tried the triple. Ayumu laced 3 in a row in that freaking thing, and it looked like he didn't even try. So now, I just say, whatever, but hats off to Ayumu. He's literally risking his life for this.
Yeah.
I go home. I go to bed. Finally, I take a bunch of Nanocraft, CBD, turn my phone off. I wake up the next morning. I'm front page on every fucking newspaper. There's a million interview requests. My social media is just like, it just went to like error with the amount of people, like messages and all positive.
People had your back.
People had my back, with the exception of you're a traitor for not backing the guy from the United States.
Oh God, those people are the worst.
And just like, but those, I mean, these are like the people that are like no followers, just trolls,
bots.
Anyway, bots. But overwhelmingly positive. I'm getting DM'd by like celebrities and all this crazy shit. I'm just like, holy shit, what the fuck just happened? I was just like calling it like I saw it, but the overwhelming response was, I was just in the moment as a snowboarder. I wasn't telling a company line at that point. I was just I'm a snowboarder. I just saw the best snowboarding that I've ever seen. I've been a pro since the fucking wheel was invented. This is what I saw. The people at home responded. There was people that saying they didn't even like snowboarding, but they were like ready to go for war for Ayumu Hirano in that run, which is like, look, I'm doing my part. I'm engaging human beings in this
drama,
and it's all from the passion of what I like about snowboarding.
It's human drama, and I think that you leveled up. You leveled up in my eyes as a friend, but more importantly as a commentator. And I think that call was iconic for so many different reasons. Not only was it iconic because you told this story and it had a happy ending. And everything you said, and I know from saying something and putting yourself out there, I don't know how you slept that night just purely due to anxiety of, am I going to get fired? Let
me add to that story. So usually after every broadcast, we would get a message from Molly Solomon, is the one that's in charge of the Olympics. She's the one. She's like the one that sits.
What's her contact number?
Yeah, exactly. Molly Solomon, top of the pyramid.
Top of the food chain.
Usually she hits us up right after the broadcast. Okay, she told me the night before on Chloe Kim's run, she's like, "Oh my God, that was so great. Everyone was, yay." I didn't hear from her.
Right.
I didn't hear from her the next day until 3:00 in the afternoon.
Sketchy.
When I finally get this email and I'm afraid to open it because I haven't heard from anybody at this point. I've just been like,
we regret to inform you.
Yeah, dude. All I've been seeing is like the fucking outpouring of social media, just like overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed. I felt like I was gonna throw up the whole day. I'm not even kidding you.
I agree.
So Molly finally sends me an email and she's like, that last night was incredible. We need to have more commentators that take an educated stand on the sports they represent. You were everyone last night. The outpouring of support has been nothing but positive. Yada yada yada.
Thank you, Molly.
And I was just like, I was like in tears.
Yeah.
Because it was like the anxiety was so much. It was so much. I was just like, I'm gonna like, do I go into work? Because I was done after that. But I had to stay in Stanford for another day and a half because they just wanted to make sure, like, if the morning shows wanted to have me on, and I hadn't heard from anybody the next day. So I was like, what? Like, do I just crawl into a rock? But all's well that ends well, and I'll say this: it was a ride. I'm glad that the snowboarding community appreciated it. I'm glad that Middle America appreciated it. I'm glad that NBC appreciated it. Now to address one elephant in the room, I was not calling Big Air, and this has nothing to do with this. This was all due to scheduling while we were still going to China and moving from venue to venue and the COVID protocols. Kelly Clark is calling Big Air. I came home. I need a week off.
You earned it, and I think that, and taking nothing away from Big Air, it's super gnarly, but halfpipe is the pinnacle of snowboarding competition in the Olympics, in my opinion.
It was.
And in many people's opinion. And you had that moment, and I honestly thought the Olympics was over.
Yeah. It wasn't, though, because my favorite moment of it all, and this is like, I'm not even counting what I was doing. My favorite moment of it all was Nick Baumgardner and Lindsay Ellis winning the team snowboard cross.
Yes.
Because I know Baumgardner. The guy is a big softy. Like, he will cry if, I'm sure he cries.
Well, we did talk about him on this podcast before the Olympics, and we gave him our support.
When you will watch Frozen, I bet if he watches Frozen, he cries. But he's watching, so the team snowboard cross goes like this. The men go down. Whoever crosses the finish line first, that will delay the gate opening for the women up top. So as soon as they cross the finish line, they go back up to the top. The women are lined up. Whatever the time difference is between the men, between each other, is the time difference between the gates dropping.
Okay. This is mixed racing.
Team snowboard cross. Team USA. It's Nick Baumgardner, Lindsay Ellis. The gate drops. Lindsay Ellis is in third or fourth. She makes her move, gets into second. The two riders behind them, like typical like snowboard cross, a NASCAR on ice, eat shit, gone. Lindsay Ellis is now racing with the woman in front of her. Nick Baumgartner is down in the base area, narrating the run with the camera on him. Oh my God, come on, Lindsay! We're watching this shit live. Lindsay's behind. We know that she has an opportunity to pass. She's a great glider, meaning that her board will just run in the snow. Comes down into the final turn. Lindsay takes the inside line. Now they're neck and neck. All of a sudden, Lindsay starts to edge away. Baumgartner's losing his fucking shit at the finish line. This is it. The Baumgartner's going to finally win a gold medal. The week before, or 2 or 3 days before, he lost out. He was in tears. That was it for Nick Baumgartner.
Solo
thing. He's never going to make. He doesn't know if he's going to come back. Now Baumgartner's going to win a gold medal. Jacob Ellis crosses the line. Baumgardner goes crazy. Happiest moment of the Olympics for me.
Yes.
It was incredible. It was such like this feel-good moment. The right person wins the gold. He goes home to the UP, the Upper Peninsula in the Midwest, and fucking hero.
The oldest.
He's my hero. He's 40
Olympian,
years old.
right?
Lindsay Jacob Ellis, 35, gets the monkey off her back, 2 gold medals. Congrats to Lindsay Jacob Ellis. Not only do you have the best song featuring Encinitas, but you also have 2 gold medals. Fuck the haters, including myself. You crushed it. Lindsay Jacob Ellis crushed it.
It was the greatest spike medal victory in the history of
snowboarding.
Hell
Yes.
And I called it.
Yeah.
I called it a couple episodes ago.
I think we both did.
Well, you said I wanted to win, but you did play the song.
Dude, she sang the song.
And you know what? I see it now.
You did
that to fire her up, and it worked.
We think that song's worth now, dude.
Congratulations, Lindsay. Spike medal. I love it.
Spike medal. So that was the Olympics.
Good job.
And now the follow-up begins with the bomb hole stoking the fire, and I'm going to go on the bomb hole. We're going to debate with judges. And yada, yada.
Well, it's kind of, so we have MondayMass.com. We're not super active on it. All the podcasts and the videos and stuff live on there. But I'm the what do you call it?
Medium
host?
Manager?
I don't know. I get the emails from it. I'm getting emails. I'm sending them to you.
Yeah, from Japanese
for people all over the world.
That's
trying to get an interview with Todd.
That's another thing I'll add this to, and I think this is really cool. And I love Japan.
Same.
I flippin' love Japan. It's one of my favorite places to go in the world. I've been getting so many supportive messages from the Japanese because the Japanese it's not in their culture to speak up. You know, it's not in their culture to call outrage when something shitty happens. It's all about honor. You take it on the chin, you don't say shit, and you walk away.
If you win,
you win. If you don't, you don't. Even if there's a travesty in judging. I called it out. The Japanese people are very appreciative of my support in this day and age of Asian, just Asian racist bullshit that's happening.
Yeah.
You know, a guy from the United States stands up for Japan's rights. I think there was a lot of people that were very happy with that. Now
you should go to Japan immediately and get as much free
I would love
food
to. I would
as
love
possible.
to go to Sapporo. I think it's opening up again because I know you couldn't fly into Tokyo without a quarantine and then go to Hokkaido to go.
I wonder if I could ride your coattails
Yes.
somehow in Japan.
Can we do a Monday If there's anyone from Japan listening to this, Chris and I would like to go on an all-expenses-paid trip to Japan.
We will come to Japan. We'll go on tour. I'll play some shows. You can have Todd live on your TV shows.
Ken Block will come with us.
We'll eat food. We'll surf and skate and snowboard.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do it all. Japan. Anyone? Oh my gosh.
So that was my love letter to Japan and to snowboarding. And thank you, NBC, for once again having my back. I can't wait to do it again in Italy next time. And it's not over. Big Air finals are tonight and tomorrow night.
Wow. And so I know you got these messages, and there's like a lot of people that I talked to. I was trying to watch it, and I was on Peacock, and then I switched to YouTube.
Yeah.
So I saved up a lot of it. I'm like, well, because I would turn it on, and it'd be some British dudes, and I'm like, okay, well, no offense. I'm like, okay. I just couldn't find. I couldn't find anyone that I knew. I couldn't find you guys. I couldn't find anybody.
It wasn't easy to find.
So I watched. This was
NBC.
a pretty good way to do it. Saved it all up in one night. My wife and I went and watched all your calls, and a bunch of gold medal runs, and just like we watched Lindsay, Jacob Ellis race. And then we were in a wormhole and we watched Andrew Chen.
Yes.
Ice skating. Bawling, crying.
Yeah.
Halfway through his run, look, I'm getting chills talking about it.
We watched it too.
Ice skating.
I watched that. Okay, this is my humble brag. Not humble. It's not.
You can brag about it.
Okay.
You can brag on, bro. Brag.
I'm watching this happen, sitting next to Ashley Wagner and Brian Boitano.
Brian,
what would Brian Boitano do? He would sit there and be the coolest dude ever as we're watching
the goat.
The goat.
He's the
goat.
Male goat for ice skating. Mm-hmm. Well, was Andrew Chen.
He would kick an ass or two. That's what Brian Boitano.
Andrew Chen, thank you for making me cry tears of joy. It was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen with a human body doing. It was crazy. And then another thing, I've always, on this podcast, I've always said, oh, God, spins, I'm over it, don't care. Totally changed my tune. I watched nearly every run in halfpipe, and I just marvel at the ungodly ability that these men and women have to spin upside down, flipping and landing. It's just, the more I watch it, the more I'm in awe of all of this.
Did you actually watch Nathan Chen, or was it Andrew Chen that you were watching?
Did I say Andrew Chen?
Nathan Chen.
Look, sorry, Nathan Chen. Who is it? Who's Andrew? Was there an Olympian named Andrew?
Andrew Cannon.
Andrew Cannon? He could be in the Olympics. Nathan Chen made me cry.
Yeah.
Andrew Chen, never met him. Sounds like a nice guy. Don't know if he can ice skate, but Nathan Chen, on the other hand.
Yeah.
Ah, shit. I had this big conversation last night, and I was telling someone about Andrew Chen. And now I feel stupid because they didn't correct me. They just said, oh, yeah. Yeah, he's good, huh? And Nathan Chen's a big fan of this podcast, so.
Yeah, he's one of the biggest fans.
Wow. So, man, big week in sports.
Yeah, it was a big sporty week. Okay. I feel like we put that to bed.
Yeah.
Let's move on because
so there will be more Olympic conversation. I'm not even saying fallout because it's all good stuff.
I don't know where this is going to go.
You're going on the bomb hole, you said?
I pitched to Grenier today because there's a bunch of judges right now kind of bummed that I said what I said
I usually wrestle
on that platform. which whatever. I will sit here and I will debate that call, and we will. I think Grenier is talking about being a moderator, and then I will talk to a judge, and they can say their piece, and I'll say my piece, and yada yada. I don't hate anybody. I just there's no dislike. It's you have the spotlight of the world on you to get the call right, and you blatantly blow it like that. Yeah, you're grenading your credibility.
Yeah.
Zzz,
And then, but it's like, I don't think people are gonna remember this Olympics 10 years from now, and they might go, oh,
will.
that was the one where the judging was kind of weird.
They probably will.
Yeah.
It probably will be remembered like that.
Yeah, it might be. But also, the right dude.
Yeah. Right guy.
The right man, the right women.
Bottom line is,
all won.
Judges need to get paid. This needs to be these guys can't be doing drywall in the summer and then expected to sit there.
They can't be doing drugs.
They can't be doing
while they're judging.
Yeah, that. But they can't be. This has to be a dedicated profession. They need to be paid and compensated well enough to have this be a full-time thing where they're constantly with their fingers on the pulse of snowboarding, and they're out there, and you get the right people to do it, and it's like it's a profession.
This is how you have to open the debate, because they're gonna come in there like, freaking Todd Richards, this guy's a dick, and then you come in and go, judges need to get paid, they need to get the respect they deserve, and they're gonna be like,
I don't disagree with that. I think that's really what it is, but that doesn't take away from the fact that you can get it wrong, and if you get it wrong under the microscope of the world when the Olympics are happening, you're going to catch some shit. This isn't an NSSA or a USSA or a little contest where someone farts and they forget about it the next week. It's just like, yeah, dude, like you got to get it right.
Well, I think the good news for the judges is this happens in every sport. Again, it happened in the Super Bowl. It's happened in games leading up to the Super Bowl. So in any sport, on any scale, it happens. They're human beings. There's a sign on the Little League field right over here. When I used to be at the games, it says, the umpires are humans and they are volunteers.
Yeah.
Be nice.
Yeah.
Not saying you can't disagree, but I love the idea that there's a constructive conversation that's been happening, because the first thing that happens is burn it down, but then it's like, okay, hold on a second.
Well, there's also this other underlying factor where the International Federation du Ski, FIS, has control of snowboarding. That needs to be wrestled back, because that is the reason that we're in this shit. Because that is the reason why these guys aren't getting the replays they need, the time they need. They're under the pressure of the Ski Federation telling them how to do things. No, we need to stop that. Will this stop that? Will this be a step in the right direction? Will this travesty of Triple Gate be a catalyst for things going forward? God, I hope so.
Yeah. Are there more snowboarders in the world or skiers in the world?
I don't know. Who cares? What does that have to do?
Did you count them?
Yeah, would you go?
I don't know. I'm just asking. God,
there's a lot.
Guy gets one good call at the Olympics right. All of a sudden, he's got the biggest ego.
Surfboards.
Look, he's taking over the show right now.
Surfboards.com if you want to get 10% off on your purchases. Chris, my turn.
Can you believe that backside air?
My turn.
By Andrew Chen. That guy is good.
If you want to turn off the podcast.
Nathan Chen.
Listen, Chris Coté
totally kidding.
Gets the late minute call up.
Late minute?
Last minute?
Yeah.
Whatever.
You used all your big words.
I used all my big words. I'm engorged.
Well, okay, give me your 2 words real quick.
A travesty.
Travesty.
Irate.
Irate.
No, irate.
Yeah. So I had 2 words at Pipeline.
What if I said I'm engorged?
I'm engorged. I'm distended over this call. My anus is leaking.
I am prolapsing.
I got a pink sock coming out of my butt because the judges. Yes, the story behind me going to Pipeline is as follows. Somebody tested positive. They had to be pulled out.
Turks, right?
I'm not at liberty to say.
Yeah, come on.
But
I'll say it.
He's the number 1 guy.
Yeah, he's the dude.
So of course he was doing it.
But you're number 2.
Yeah, I'm number 2. But I got a call. This is the day before. Right when the phone rang, I saw the number. I'm like, I know exactly what's about to happen. So I start stressing out, looking at my calendar. Oh my God, I'm going to do this. So I get the call, go over there, take a red eye from here to Las Vegas to Hawaii, land at 6 in the morning, grab my bags, drive to the North Shore, an hour drive, park my car, get out of the car, walk to the set, grab a shirt, all the way up, pull my socks up, high socks, little shorts, sit down, headset, boom. The waves are out of this world. Perfect. One of the best days of competition at Pipeline in the history of competition at Pipeline. Therefore, my first day with I didn't have any notes. I was prepared in the way that I was excited. Mm-hmm. And like the entire surfing world and surf fans, I was ready for the championship tour to start, ready to see if the gamble of starting at Pipeline is going to pay off.
This is the start.
Yeah. Right? It had that tone of the big finish, but it's just the start.
This is the start.
And I think the WSL got it right starting at Pipeline because regardless of how you feel about lowers and coming to the end of the year, we just launched the championship tour out of a cannon.
Yeah.
First day was incredible. I mean, so many stories of underdogs, rookies, senior citizens. I mean, people just, men, women, and children going absolutely bonkers at Perfect Pipeline. So, super fun, amazing first day. Got a groove pretty quick. Felt pretty good about it. Mm-hmm. Keeps going. Contest keeps going on. And, you know, of course, everyone's talking about Kelly Slater.
Swell is also building.
Tons of waves. It's like...
Big.
Actually, you know what was weird? The day before, apparently, the first day of the contest was dead flat.
Really?
Like a lake. The next day, huge, perfect, crazy pipeline. The next day... So they did 2 rounds the first day.
The next day was off, right?
The next day was off.
But it was good. Or turned good in the afternoon or something?
It was good, but it wasn't like it wasn't as good as the first day. I think there was a break in between of a day or so. Mm-hmm. There was women's competition in like 4 to 6 foot pipe backdoor. Mm-hmm. You know, ladies are getting tubed, charging, setting it up for the end. Right, It's all coming like this. Mm-hmm. There was one day that was just kind of firing, but they knew that there was plenty coming up, and there's wind is always an issue. Finals day comes, it's bigger than the first day, way gnarlier, not as perfect. Mm-hmm. And so we're like, okay, we're going to see some shit go down today. And that was the day, Kelly Slater in the morning. So the first day we're watching Kelly, we're going, he's drinking hot water and turmeric, like something's about to happen.
Right.
That's what he has for breakfast. So
really?
Hot water, turmeric.
That's what
turmeric.
That's what he runs for
turmeric.
Breakfast. Really?
Turmeric. So he starts to get on a roll. He took out Baron Mamiya. We're like, whoa, Baron was probably going to win the contest. Yeah. Took out our guy Jake Marshall. Jake Marshall, who had his worst heat at pipe ever, probably took one of the worst wipeouts of the contest. Grabbed his board, paddled back out. Total badass. Talking about Jake because he's our guy from right here. He went up against Kelly Slater. He got a couple bombs at backdoor. Like, came back from a disastrous early round. Slater takes out Baron Mamiya. Starts getting on this roll, and we're going, is this going to happen? Like, the GOAT? Everyone's calling him the GOAT. Right. Oh, he's the GOAT. And I'm kind of in the same boat, and I'm going like, Tom Brady, blah, 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 Tiger Woods. I'm like, you're great. You're not the GOAT. Kelly Slater's the GOAT.
Is there a boat?
A goat boat?
No, this is like the best of all time and the greatest of all time.
Could be a boat?
Yeah.
Boat, goat? Anyway.
Is the boat lower than the goat?
Best, I think greatest is the pinnacle.
So best of all time.
Greatest of all time.
Okay.
Because if you're eating pizza and you're like, oh, this is the best, people go, oh, that must be good. If you're like, this is the greatest, they go, ooh. Mm-hmm. Same thing with surfing. Mm-hmm. Pizza. So it starts to happen. Things start getting emotional. The build-up is here. And then is Kelly Slater going to retire if he wins this? What's going to happen? Can he win this? He freaking wins it.
I'm not fucking leaving.
I'm not leaving. And I had that call. The GOAT doing GOAT things. Which is, in surfing, a lot of times when you're doing the commentary, there was one, I think, Nat Young. No, so Nat Young got a wave, and I was talking about Bitcoin Beach. Blah, blah, blah. Bitcoin Beach did it. And I look up, and Nat Young is on the gnarliest wave of the morning.
So you just
I'm like, not young, go, here we go. Like, but of course, the highlight is, Bitcoin Beach is cool. They're not young. And it's like, damn it.
Yeah.
So thankfully, the Kelly Slater highlights, I knew they were going to be replayed over and over again.
Sure.
So
you had to get it right.
Had to get it right. But I was in the same boat as you. I'm so hyped on what I'm seeing. I'm crying. I'm getting emotional. People around me are crying. People on the beach are crying.
It was a big deal. Like, I watched that final heat.
Yeah.
And, when he went over to Seth and they hugged and Kelly's, like, bawling.
It was crazy.
It was gnarly. It was, like, such a fantasy. If you wanted to build drama and have it pay off that way, you couldn't have scripted it any better. Yeah,
so seeing all this unfold, we're going, this is going to happen. Kelly wins, and I'm in the same boat as you, as after it, so we still had the women's finals to go. Kelly wins. It's one of the greatest moments in surfing history.
Yeah.
He almost died on a wave. Like,
I saw that.
If his head was like this, he would have died. But his head was like this. He made it. Insane.
And then he paddled back out through back door.
Paddled back out.
Gnarly.
So throughout the whole week, I'm finding trolls because
You're going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I went down the rabbit hole, and it does, honestly, it does not
just self-flogging.
Unless somebody says something personal. Mm-hmm. But most of it is like, this dude's the worst, and I'm like, thanks for watching, So I seek it out. Yeah. But the overwhelming majority of the responses, people are stoked. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of my friends, our friends, I made the call, this is a huge victory for 40-somethings everywhere. Right. And people are like, yes, I'm 40-something.
Yeah.
So it was a really feel-good moment. And now Kelly Slater is in the driver's seat to potentially make the Final 5 at the end of the year, which would be, again, swan song.
What do you think?
Oh my gosh, I think it's possible. Because...
Do you think he's feeling it?
Sunset Beach...
But what about Australia and the whole...
He's going.
He is?
Yeah.
He's getting... Well, I thought... What about the whole vaccine bullshit?
His thing is and I think there's a interview up on WSL. Basically, he's like, look, I'm vaccinated, but it's none of your business. Mm-hmm. But I got to tell you because I'm going to Australia. So he said it. Mm-hmm. I'm paraphrasing. I just read it. He said, I am going to Australia. So think of the waves coming up. Sunset Beach, that one's going to be interesting. Kelly Slater has a love-hate relationship with Sunset. I think it's more hate. Mm. He's just never done well there. Can he? Of course. Mm-hmm. Sunset is an equalizer. I have no idea who's going to win. Baron Mia might win that. John might win it. Connor Coffin. Jack Robinson. It's anyone's game.
Who's the last person to win Sunset backs up?
Evan Villiers, maybe? What, like a while back? Yeah. I mean, the last couple of winners that I can remember, you got Billy Kemper on a bunch, Connor Coffin, Baron's done well there, Zeke Lau. Mm-hmm. This is a big regular footers event to win. The women are going to go out there. That's going to be super fun. I mean, Chris is probably going to do well, of course. Yeah. It's going to be a really fun event to watch. Think of Kelly Slater, Sunset, we'll see what happens there. After that, we're starting to go to Margaret River in the box. Mm-hmm. Of course, Kelly can do good there. Bells. Mm-hmm. He's got multiple bells. He can win that event. G-Land. Yeah. Google Kelly Slater, G-Land.
Yeah, that's like his...
Your mind's about to be blown.
His sweet spot.
Sweet spot. Tahiti. Mm-hmm. El Salvador? Don't know.
Beach break, though. Kelly's very dangerous in beach break.
Yeah, well, it's like a lowers on acid. Mm-hmm. On steroids, whatever you want to say. J-Bay. Kelly Slater. I think, I'm saying it now, Kelly Slater will be in the Rip Curl WSL Finals at the end of the year.
Dude.
I don't know where he'll be in the order. He will be in it.
That would be so insane.
I don't know if Gabriel Medina is going to come back, but I think Kelly will be in the Final 5.
So Gabe Medina was not here.
Gabriel Medina pulled out of the first. He said he doesn't know when he's coming back. He was missed.
And how many events can you drop?
Except for everyone on the championship tour.
How many events are you allowed to drop?
2.
Okay, so he's got...
But there's a mid-year cut.
Yeah, right.
I don't think he'll make the mid-year cut. We'll see what happens next. Oh, the women go out. So, super emotional day. Everyone's crying. I'm crying. Can't help it. Freaking goat doing goat things. Women go out the next day. It's still freaking huge. You got people out there in their basements eating Cheetos. Oh, I would drop in on that wave. No, you wouldn't. It was fucking gnarly out there at Pipeline when the women went out. Moana Jones Wong.
I know.
So you got Kelly, who everyone in the world knows. Everyone's at this. They used to cheer against him because he won too much, but now everyone's cheering for him. He's the best. Moana Jones Wong, local surfer. I don't know if I ever even heard of her until the months leading up to Pipe, because everyone's going, this is the girl right here.
Right.
So she starts getting on a roll too, and she wants it to be big. She wants it to be gnarly.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Sunday morning. It's still pumping. So you got it was only the semis and the finals. Tyler Wright, packs a bomb.
Gnarliest of the gnarlies out there.
Yeah, and they're answering question after question. Will the women go? Will they pull in? Will they try? They did it all.
They crushed.
Moana Jones Wong comes through as a wild card. No rankings. She did good in the backdoor shootout in the HIC event. She comes through, wins Pipe. Makes it look so easy. She is tiny.
Really?
Tiny little thing. She's out there soul arching in barrels. Insane. Crying again. 2 days in a row I'm crying at a surf contest.
That's so insane.
It's crazy how sports can
it
sports
does.
can do that to you.
It's hard not to get caught up in those moments, and as you get older, you get sappier.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know if that's even a thing, but you just, I don't know, that it permeates you more than it used to.
Well, to see people achieve these pinnacle moments, and knowing how difficult it is, how dangerous it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and we've been talking throughout the past couple episodes about 40-somethings ruling the world. As I'm watching Kelly Slater do this, that night I put on Instagram, I see Tony Hawk and Andy Mack do one of the gnarliest doubles runs I've ever seen. These dudes are 50.
And Jason Ellis too. These guys have all been on the come up lately with stuff that they're doing and age.
Remember when your parents used to quit skating?
Oh my God.
We don't do that anymore. We're going to be skating until we're 60. And Tony Hawk, Kelly Slater, Tom Brady. These people are leading the way. Even Shaun White.
Yeah.
How old is Shaun White?
35.
35.
Yeah. I hope he keeps in Shaun White, I should say. I hope he stays in snowboarding in some facet.
I would love to see some video parts.
I know that stance needs to narrow up though.
Free riding?
Hey, you want to hear this is one of my favorite moments from the North Shore while you were there.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Fucking love.
North Shore lifeguards are the best.
Yeah.
And they have the heaviest job ever.
Hell yeah, they do. Big shouts to North Shore lifeguards because they have to save just straight donkeys from going in
from dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they have to put themselves at risk for dum-dums in the water.
And they have to raise their own money. They have to have dances and sock hops and sell cookies. Donate to the North Shore Lifeguards.
Donate to the North Shore Lifeguards, and they are legends. They are some of the biggest legends in surfing.
And I gotta say, it's interesting because we're here in Encinitas. It was 90 degrees. We're watching the Olympics, and it's the snowboarding is the last thing on your mind, except for when it's on the TV. I know it's going off globally, but it just felt like after Pipe, same thing, and not just me. I obviously focus on myself selfishly and find what people are saying about me personally, but it just felt like the stoke of surfing on social media.
Oh, it was very positive.
Online.
Very positive. It
was so positive, but more than ever. Walking around the neighborhood, people who I've known forever, hey, what's up, usually.
Oh,
how was Pipeline? Oh my God, that was crazy.
Let's talk about Uncle Mike.
Oh, 64 years old. Mcconaughey.
Is he? I thought he was going to be like
64.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. So I hit up Coco because I wanted to drop an Uncle Mike reference in the broadcast.
Yes.
Because I know Coco's watching and her tutu's watching in the whole audience because of Mark McMorris. And I was like, that was inspirational to me to hear everyone talking about Michael Ho just packing one of the best backdoor waves of the winter.
He hadn't surfed in 6 months.
6 months.
This was his first wave, first session, and he came in. That's G shit right there.
One and fucking done.
That is G shit. So yeah, 40-somethings are ruling the world, but 60-somethings are also
owning it,
ruling the world. But it just felt like surfing's in. You got, of course, you have, your gossip blogs and websites that are gonna talk shit, and that's their job, and that's fine. And I read that; it's great. Yeah. I'm in it. But I also just loved the outpouring of excitement and love for surfing and love for, Kelly Slater. My brother actually said if he hears me say goat one more time, he's going to punch me in the head.
Well, I think
it just
comes down to
he doesn't listen to
you realize how many people are passionate about the same thing that you love, and whether or not people are going off online about snowboarding or surfing after the Olympics or pipeline. It just shows you how much these sports permeate your soul.
Yeah.
So whatever, fucking great job. That was awesome. In the best interest of this podcast, not going.
Oh my God.
Fucking black hole.
Oh.
Do you have any skate news?
I got a little bit more surf news.
Okay, go.
So this past weekend, Camp Shred. Camp Shred is the world's biggest surfboard demo, and again, the stoke levels were at an all-time high. This is where people can come try out all the different boards. I wish I had more time to go around and squeeze boards and do the whole thing, but my band, Cut You Up, actually played first time in 3 years.
Once again, you guys are online. You can go.
Harshmellow, who you missed, and I know you're angry about that. They put on an insane show.
Did it sound like Fluff?
Better than Fluff.
Wow.
Riff, rock, heavy smuggles. They just went off. Brian Bent and the Bent Duo, it's a father-daughter band, went off.
Sorry?
Sunday was Iron Sage Wood. I'm talking about the bands because that was my job, is booking the band. So, of course, I booked my own band.
Right.
And Yovi played Sunday. They showed the Super Bowl down there. It was an epic event. If you've never been to a Camp Shred, going again next year. Get on there. You're gonna love it.
Fuck yeah.
Surfing is awesome.
Fuck yeah.
Look at my board. It's right there. I got a surfboard.
I surfed yesterday for 3.5 hours after I got home.
You earned it.
I just needed to be in the thing.
Oh wait. So sorry, I forgot to say. My 2 words at Pipeline for the first 2 days: hyperbole.
Hyperbole.
I'm not gonna dip into hyperbole here, but that was the best hyperbole. Right. I kept saying it. Of course, people on Twitter pick it up. Hyperbole, dork.
What else?
And then I started saying warranted. Which, would you ever sit in the water and somebody catches a wave?
That
like,
wasn't
I
warranted.
got barreled. I'm like, oh, that was warranted, bro. Said it like 8 times.
Really?
So those were my words that I said.
Like,
I did say congealed as a dare from Laura Enever.
Congealed?
And shout out to Strider Wasilewski. Being in the water 8 hours a day at maxing Pipeline, keeping the energy and the excitement levels up.
He came back like he was getting. He was giving you an interview, and he's like, I gotta go. I'm about to die. Like 20 times it happened. And we're like, get out of the way. And literally you could see him. He's like talking, he's like, oh, bye. And Yeah.
Big shout. And then also to my new friend, Matthew Mcconaughey.
What do you mean? Oh, he was there. A lot of people said I look like Matthew McConaughey in my suit.
Oh, there's a question about that.
Do I?
I'll give you the quick Matthew McConaughey update. So, cool. I'm coming in.
Is he cool?
So cool. And after I tell you this, way cooler.
All right.
Come in. He's up there with Strider. They hang out, and his son. Walk up. I see them. It's just them and just me. There's like a little walkway. Yeah. And Strider's like, oh, hey, Chris Coté, to them. And the kid's like, looks at me. And I could tell that, he knew who I was. And I shook his hand, and he's like, oh, and then I hear behind me, hey, Mr. Chris Coté, don't walk past me. I'm a fan, too. And I turn around, it's Matthew McConaughey. I'm like, hey, what's up? Trying to play it cool.
Yeah, because what do I do?
He's fanning out.
What?
He's fanning out on me.
Really?
We hear your voice in our house all the time. We listen to you all the time, man. You're the best. I'm just like, what world is this?
Matthew McConaughey is a huge fan of this podcast.
He is. And apparently his son dressed like me for Halloween last year.
What?
Yeah. I'm big in the McConaughey house.
Do you think that his son listens to this podcast?
I don't know about that.
Why not?
He might.
Probably follows you on Instagram.
Probably.
So
anyway, shout out McConaughey fam. And then I remember the next day we were talking a little bit about surfing. So I'm like, well, how'd you get into surfing? And he's like, oh man, about, I don't know, 12 or something years ago, I did a little movie called Surfer Dude. And I was like, oh shit, yes.
Surfer Comma Dude.
Yeah, Surfer Dude. Yeah. So that's my Matthew McConaughey story.
He just seems
Hope we hang out again soon.
He seems like one of the coolest dudes ever.
Such a nice guy.
He's been in some of my favorite shows.
Dude,
and
True Detective?
Yeah, dude. Dazed and Confused.
I'm kind of like, I know I could have got it. I want to get Matthew McConaughey on my outgoing message.
Why don't you get Matthew McConaughey on the fucking podcast?
My message is more important.
Right. Anyway, that was cool. Did you see when I was in my suit?
Yes. So I do have a question, actually.
All right. Well, do you have any skateboard news before we get to questions?
My skateboard news is...
Is it got to be a good one?
I was going to give my skateboard away at the Pipeline Skate Park, but I didn't have time, and so I brought it on the plane with me home. I left it on the plane.
Oh, my God. Did you just, leave it?
I left it on my in the overhead thing. It's in first class, so it's pretty big. Yeah. So somebody at American Airlines got a skateboard, but that's fine because I love American Airlines. And I set up a brand new Christmas Complete. Thank you, Generator Distribution, Darkroom, Crux, Bones Bearings, Vern Laird. These are my quasi dad sponsors.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. I got some wheels at Rose Street Skate Shop. I go between Rose Street and McGill's. I go purchase for purchase.
You keep it going with the town.
Yeah, so I have a Christmas Complete right now, and it's going really well. My skateboarding, I'm hanging it. I'm holding on.
40-somethings.
We talk about I got 4 tricks. Keeping on. I just keep those 4 tricks. We're good.
Keep them.
Yeah. So skateboarding news.
Look, it was overshadowed by surfing and snowboard news this week.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you're out there skating. Just keep doing it. We'll get to you next week.
Yeah, I did. I saw a couple. There's a couple insanely good videos out there right now. Girl just released a tour video.
Mm-hmm.
John Gardner had a rough cut that's insanity. Yeah.
You know what I didn't realize is that Chloe Kim's boyfriend is Elijah Burles' brother.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, and last thing in surf news, the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach presented by Shiseido.
Are you going?
Professional way to say the name. I'm not going, but it could start today or tomorrow.
All right.
Happy Valentine's Day, by the way.
Oh yeah, VD.
Yeah.
Spread it.
Venereal Disease Day. Wait, Valentine's Day.
Nerd News
Spread it.
is brought to you by Pannikin Coffee and Tea.
Yes, it is.
Okay, just a couple nerd newses. Book of Boba Fett. Did you
Don't
watch...
spoil it. I've saved the last episode to watch with my kids tonight.
But did you watch the episode the week before where Luke shows up and Grogu's in it and the whole 9 yards?
No, but I know what happened.
You haven't seen that one?
I was tripping when Mandalorian came in.
But you haven't seen the one...
I haven't seen that one. I'm going to have to watch it before I watch the finale.
Yeah. Anyway.
Finale.
Have you been watching Raised by Wolves, the new season?
Yes.
It is good.
Yes, Raised by Wolves is a slow burn, but it's coming back.
It's good, dude.
Righteous Gemstones is popping off. There was a big vomit scene in the latest one that was really funny.
Do you watch Billions?
Nope. I did watch Billions a little bit,
right.
but I haven't got super into it.
So I met this dude was at the Olympics. I think his name's Dan.
Dan Schneider?
No, that's not who we're talking.
Dan Blazarian?
No, it's not Dan.
Dan Coté?
Anyway, I was hanging out with a guy that was on Billions, but I didn't really know until after. And he's a really funny comedian, and he was really, really cool. And I feel like I'm blowing it because I forget what his name is.
Does he listen to the podcast?
Not anymore.
You should.
That's my nerd news.
Did you watch the Super Bowl?
I watched the commercials.
Any commercials stand out for you?
I like the it's your friend from Boston with the Boston Dynamics.
Yeah.
That was pretty sick. I did like the Multiverse of Madness trailer.
That was sick.
I liked the
Lord of the Rings?
I don't know where that's going.
It's weird, but I'm in.
I'm confused.
I'm excited for a series of Lord of the Rings.
Moon Knight, kind of stoked for that. That's the
Dude, the best commercial
Which one was it?
was also the cheapest commercial.
Which one was it?
But the commercial that everyone's talking about and people are already emulating.
What?
The Bitcoin crypto commercial.
I didn't even see it. What is so funny about it?
Blank screen,
Yeah.
QR code,
Yeah.
bouncing like that.
Yeah.
Black screen, QR code
That's all it was?
for a minute.
For a minute.
And we had 20 people watching, and everyone's like, "Don't do it! Don't do it!"
But
Finally,
everyone
someone's
did
like,
it.
"God damn it!" And they went and they did it, and it was for cryptocurrency. But that was brilliant.
Wow.
So you buy the commercial, it's
That's a bold
$4
move.
million.
That's a bold move.
Yeah, and you do, and it worked. It was perfect.
I heard Liquid Death had a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah.
That's pretty balls.
Yeah. That's baller.
Ball money.
Yeah.
We had a St. Archer commercial. I remember that, and that was like a big fucking deal.
Tight. Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, the halftime show.
Oh yeah.
Did you have sentimentality? Like you weren't like a big hip hop guy.
I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I didn't watch anything. I couldn't. I didn't.
You watched commercials on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, most people that I know really enjoyed the halftime show. It was nostalgia. Then you had Kendrick Lamar, Eminem came out, Eminem kneeled, which I thought was cool. It was just like a really cool looking show.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love that
Compton and Long
people
Beach
used to
in
get
the
in
house.
trouble for listening to Snoop Dogg and Dre. You know, it used to be dangerous, and now it's like on the Super Bowl. Mary J. Blige.
I did see a lot of people saying, like, here's a bunch of late 40s people explaining to their kids who these people are.
Yeah. It was definitely like my kids were pretty hyped on it because they still know who Eminem is and Dr.
Snoop?
Dre.
You know who
and
Snoop is?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Those guys are
Dude, I you know what I missed at the
Cross-generational.
Olympics was Snoop and Kevin Hart commentating.
Did Leslie from Saturday Night Live
No.
message you?
No. not
She was
this-
pissed because they kept taking her off the air.
Not this time. She like literally like roasted me in Pyeongchang, which I loved.
Yeah. Lucky.
Anyway, so that is our news for that. But we're gonna go to questions because I know there's like 17,000 of them here.
Yes. Well, no, actually, there's not that many.
No, why have a fuckload?
Okay, we'll start. Are they all for you? Selfish.
I don't know. Let's see.
I got one. I got one for you.
What is it?
This is from Carolyn Coté.
All right.
Did Todd do his own hair and makeup
Huh?
for his big shows, and did you like having your hair did and hair? She asked, did you do your hair and makeup, and did you dress yourself, or did you have a team dress you up and make you look so great?
You go in for H&M, which is hair and makeup, and then
Yeah.
So when you're on the live studio show, like I've been wearing a beanie or a hat, I can't even remember. Like it looks when I look in the mirror and I don't have a beanie or a hat on, it looks weird. So I was way out of my comfort zone. They put a suit
look
on.
great.
They put a suit on me the first day when I went on with the woman that does I forget what her name is, but she does
Good Morning America?
No.
Today's Show?
It was a
morning show?
It was a day show, and she does
Pornhub?
World Cup soccer, and it was like my tie was all fucking cockeyed, and like that was a shit show in itself getting to that show. But I was just like, all right, but I didn't realize so many people watch daytime TV because the amount of messages I got. But Caroline, no, they have a team that dresses us,
Right.
and that's how it goes.
And if anyone out there needs professional hair and makeup done, DM me and I'll give you my wife's name and number. She's really good at it.
What else you got?
Okay. This is from Becky Bubbs, aka Brent LaFleur.
Mhm.
Maybe you already talked about it in Snowboard News, but it was kind of interesting to see people jump on the Shaun White train at the end there. Seems like a bunch of haters jumped ship.
Well, I think what it really comes down to is whether or not you agree with who he is in snowboarding. You can't deny the fact that you're watching a person that has moved the needle in this sport decide to retire, and it's something that he dedicated his life to, and it's like you tune in to watch whether or not you want to see Shaun get second or you want to see him win. You're tuning in just the same, and he's been there since like the first time that I encountered Shaun White as a problem in my snowboard career was 2002.
Jeez.
2002, he was like
It's over 20 years
a
ago, by
problem.
my math.
So he's been at this forever.
Well, and I see, I know exactly what you're saying. You can separate the art
Yeah.
from the artist.
Exactly.
And we can all, and I don't even know him. Like, I met him a couple times, but he's always been cool to me.
You won't remember it.
When you see greatness like that for that long,
You
he
gotta-
he's like bigger than the Olympics.
He was. It's and in the Olympics. I mean, NBC will fully admit that they built that show on his back.
They needed for and the past 3-4 Olympics, they needed Shaun White more than Shaun White needed the Olympics.
I'll tell you what, I mean, even with Ayumu and Kaiju and these new kids coming up, there's going to be a vacuum now.
Yeah.
With Shaun White stepping away, there's going to be, who is going to fill that spot? Who's going to fill the spot?
Yeah.
Snowboarding will miss him. And I don't care if you don't like him or you do like him, whatever.
I can't even air out of a half pipe. It's not going to be me.
Here's a right up your wheelhouse. Speaking of, this is from Ryan Wheeler.
Okay.
Ryan Wheeler says,
Wheelhouse Wheeler?
Mm-hmm. Does Kaiju actually receive a Guinness World Record for that method? Like a plaque to prove it? Thanks, guys. Big fan. Also, thanks for doing what you do for Snowboarding Todd. Well, thank you, Ryan.
I do stuff for snowboarding.
And Chris does stuff for snowboarding too.
Nothing good, though.
Mainly has his bindings break on the best pow day ever.
I've been snowboarding before.
So, I don't, I think the way the Guinness Book of World Records goes, and I know that when Valentino did it, Valentino Giuselli, the Australian kid, he did it in locks. It was set up to be a Guinness Book of World. I'm going to go out and break the Guinness Book of World Records.
And they have to be there to see.
They have to be an official there. No, I don't think it'll go in the Guinness, but it might because they have transponders on them that tell them how big they go. I think
facts are facts. Guinness.
I think, but who knows? I don't. He's not. Maybe if he doesn't get a plaque, he broke the record in my eyes.
He broke the internet. I got a Would You Rather classic from California Mud Motors.
She's saying,
would you rather have the biggest method error ever on film or still be able to stomp lofty back ones off big boosters at 60 years old? I think I would like to have the biggest method error ever on film for my Instagram feed.
Fuck yes.
I would get so many likes.
Can you imagine what it would be like to be Kaiju Hirano just hanging up there?
Oh, is that I thought that was another question.
No, that's not a question. That's a
The English Beat liked a tweet that mentioned Cut You Up is available on all streaming services. Look.
Literally the English Beat?
Yeah.
The band.
Not a question.
Mirror in the bathroom.
Go ahead.
All right. Comes from Tyler Strout. What should deduct more points in a slopestyle competition? A missed grab on a jump, or not locking in a board slide, not using the entire length of the rail, and not landing bolts all on the same rail? I believe they're all the same.
Same thing.
Same thing. I think it's
putting your hand down on landing.
It's a missed trick. It's not perfect. The deduction should be the same.
Yeah.
And especially if you're doing crazy triple things, and you need to be looking perfect in the air, missing your grab and grabbing your knee isn't going to get you that score.
Yeah. Yeah. He is a Olympic snowboarding commentator.
Yeah.
Hana Lee says, do y'all think snowboarding would benefit from more scoring deadlines similar to figure skating where tricks have a certain point values and there's specific percentages allocated for technicality and style?
No, I think what you're going to come down... Well, I mean, yeah, that would make
it
better.
The back part of that question
that would make it better to discern things for the layman. I think, like, okay, well, here's... Well, you know what? Maybe they do have that in the judge's handbook. They might be like, look, a triple cork is worth this much. We start to deduct away from that if someone lands poorly or puts their hand down or doesn't grab or grabs it too. Maybe that already exists, but I think it should be more open to the overall impression thing. Like, how high did this guy go? Are his lines consistent? Was he sketching between the walls? Was he smooth? Was he grabbing? Did he look like he was putting a lot of effort in, or did he look like he was flowing from wall to wall?
Yeah.
To me, that's more in line with what snowboarding really is, instead of trying to add a fist judging criteria to it.
You can't. Yeah, you can't. You can't ever list tricks that takes, because creativity is part of judging.
Yeah.
Speed, height.
And with figure skating...
Did you say amplitude?
I'd never say that.
Okay, good.
In figure skating, also, you have to submit what you're going to do. It's the same within aerials or the same within moguls. You're submitting to them what you're going to do before you do it. And that...
I read both Andrew and Nathan Chen's trick list before they competed.
And I just think it's lame because there's no room for improvisation.
Right. This is not an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm. This figure skating.
Here's one last question from me. Hardest part of broadcasting last week this is from Alex C. The hardest part of broadcasting last week, I think, was probably just getting used to the time, the time that we were doing it, because I go to bed.
That's fair, and you're still in the time zone. It's one thing if you're in China and you're like up
Yeah.
with the sun and
Yeah.
you're
It's
syncing up with
different.
the elements.
It's different when you're trying to go to sleep when the sun's coming up.
Yeah.
That's really hard for me to do.
And the hardest part about commentating at Pipeline is coming up with different ways to describe someone dropping in, getting barreled, and coming out.
Yeah, that's true. Like, how many different ways are there to describe someone doing
He's
the
in the
same
pit,
thing?
in the pocket, in the tube. I had a lot of people say they liked when I called these big waves coming in aquatic anomalies.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
Got a question from Adam Etz Art. Adam Etz Art.
Yeah,
Long-time friend, fan, listener. We love him.
We were playing this background music for him.
That's our like cue music, like the Oscars.
Yeah.
You're going too long. Nobody gives a shit
We're gonna
anymore.
run a
The
stone
Olympics
saw
are over.
during the
Pipeline was a
broadcast.
year ago. Nobody cares.
Okay, go.
Monday M.A.S.S question. Obviously. North Shore is considered the proving ground for surfing. In your opinion, which locations are the proving ground for snow and skate? I'll do
right.
skate.
Okay, you do skate.
Burnside?
Mm-hmm. I'll do snow. Mount Baker.
Okay. Easy.
There we go. I'm gonna cut it here because I don't like this. It's giving me a headache. Thank you everybody for all the kind words and support. It meant everything to me when I knew that I thought that I was in the right, but you always second guess myself, and it was really fun. I'm glad to be home. I'm glad to be here, and yeah, if you guys have anything you want to ask or you're curious about, just reach out in the DMs. I've been trying to get back to everybody because there's a giant backlog of direct messages to me from this shit, but thank you. Can we play the one that I like the most?
This one?
It's a dance one.
No, the other one.
Oh my god, I just realized something.
What?
This is the wrong version of the song that I posted up.
Can you put the haves and the have-nots on? That's a way better ender.
I put a live version. Oh my god.
This is the best one. We'll see you guys next
Check you out
week.
available on streaming now. I'm so embarrassed.